This video is for people that struggle with saying no. For a very long time, I've struggled with saying no, whether that's to family members, friends, women, even in the workplace. And for a very long time, I've wondered why saying no causes so much internal friction. But I think I've been able to figure it out because as of lately, I've completely changed that. I've been able to say no a lot more now. When I want to say no, I say no. Although I still do feel some of that internal resistance or friction when it comes to saying no, I'm still able to do it. I think at this point right now, what I'm learning is I'm learning to balance saying no and still showing up for people because there does it does get to a point where you can say no too much because at the end of the day, we're human beings. Everything we do is based on relationships. Once again, whether that's with friends, family members, women, workplace, even strangers, everything boils down to a relationship. So you still want to nourish those relationships or nurture those relationships that you do have because the people that care about you and the people that you care about are extremely important. I do want to say that's the only thing that you have in this world are your loved ones and the experiences that you guys create. At the end of the day, if you're on this self-improvement journey, if you're on the journey of maximizing your income, I'm assuming it's not for selfish reasons. Even if it is for selfish reasons, if you peel everything back, especially if you're a man, you're doing this because you want to be able to provide certain experiences for the people in your life. You want to be able to show up as a certain man in their life. So saying no for a season plays a role in that. There will be a time where people look at you crazy, people look at you funny, people are upset with you because you're not showing up, because you're not spending the amount of time that they feel you should spend with them. So people are going to be upset. But once again, what you have to keep in mind is keep in mind that scenario that I mentioned a whole lot on this channel about when you're on the plane. Hat kind of messed up. That's my boy hat, by the way. Go check him out. But yeah, when you're on the plane, the flight attendants, before you guys take off, they show you what to do in case of emergency. They tell you, yo, when this mask drops down, make sure your mask is on before you try to help anyone else. Because at the end of the day, if you aren't showing up for yourself, if you aren't taking care of yourself, there's no way, it's impossible for you to show up for other people or take care of other people. So handle your business first, brother and sisters. Take care of yourself first. At the end of the day, the relationship that you have with self is the most important. And when you're constantly saying yes, when you're not saying no, you're allowing other people, other things, other entities, other energies to suck you dry of your energy. Something that I want to talk more about on this channel is understanding the concept of energetic capacity. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's basically the amount of capacity you have or the energy that you have. And you have different categories of life where you have this, what you would call this energetic capacity, and all of that adds up to your total energetic capacity. The reason you feel down, the reason you feel like you're tired, the reason you don't feel like showing up for people, the reason you feel like is because you lack the energetic capacity needed to actually show up in those areas of your life. So yes, say no, but make sure you're saying no for the right reasons. And once again, there's going to be a season or seasons where you have to say no, where you have to take care of yourself. It doesn't matter how bad you let someone down. I shouldn't say it doesn't matter because, like I talked about a little bit earlier, you want to nurture and take care of the relationships that you have. But brother, it's like I said, this is still something that I'm finding the balance between. At first, I really struggled to say no. And the crazy thing is, I've been called selfish by a lot of people, but I would consider myself very selfless. I'm just, even in the past, I'm never going to jeopardize myself or my well-being for the sake of someone else. But back to this concept of energetic capacity, saying no plays a role in building up that energetic capacity. You have to build up enough. You have to build up enough energy within yourself so that you can. This is how I think of it. There's a everyone knows the saying or the structure of God, man, woman, child, and that everybody should, or I'm assuming everybody has heard of the concept, or you having your cup poured into or pouring into other cups. The way that I see it is, I'm not even pouring my cup. I'm not tilting my glass for anybody. I'm sorry. I'm actually not sorry, but I'm not tilting my glass over and I'm not pouring my cup for anyone. What I'm going to do is I'm going to nurture the relationship between me and myself and me and God. I'm going to nurture that relationship between God and man. By doing that, what happens is my cup is so overfilled. My cup is so full that it is dripping over the edges. So the excess is dripping over into the cups below me. And not only is it dripping over, my cup is running so, my cup is being filled so much that the excess is going over the edges, and it's not a drip, it's a downpour. So by focusing on that relationship between man and God, I'm able to build myself up, build myself up. I'm able to build my energetic capacity up. Now I have the capacity to show up in every realm of life. Now I have the capacity to show up and train. Now I have the capacity to show up and grind. Now I have the capacity to show up and make love, brother. Now I have the capacity to repeat. Now it's not an inconsistent thing. And that's the thing. You want to try to find a certain rhythm and consistency in your life. It's not about hitting a huge home run or hitting a big play. Yes, those things are nice, but consistency, brother. Day by day, brick by brick, one task at a time. That's what you have to do. You have to focus. And in order to focus, you have to say no. You have to remove yourself from certain environments. You have to remove you I've talked about how relationships are important, but there are some relationships that you will have to remove yourself from. When that girl hits you up and she want to see you, your brother, you might have to say no sometimes. When that family member hits you up and they want you to come to an event, you may have to say no, brother. When your job asks you to do something crazy that's out of your, you may have to say no, brother. There's times that you'll have to say no, and when you say no, like I said, you'll build up your energetic capacity. You'll build up the energy that's available to you for use. Quick video today, kind of rambling on. This was kind of a vent session actually, but hopefully you learned something from it today, and I'll be back with another video. Learn to say no, brother.